Hi guys, welcome to ELI, the place where you get your daily dose of inspiration for entrepreneurship. And today we have with us Miss Heena Manav, who is the co-founder and CEO of Camping Co, a platform where people go to camping together. I think Hina will tell in detail what is it about. Hina has attended Delhi University for bachelor's in science and Pondicherry University for master's in business. Hina had worked for 4 years in companies such as Uber before starting her own venture in 2018. So, hi Hina, welcome to Entrepreneur Launch of India.
Hi Priya, thanks for inviting me. Quite a lovely background to go there.
Uh, uh, Hina, would you mind introducing yourself to our audience, please?
All right, I think you have done pretty well in terms of introducing me. I will introduce Camping Co a little bit better. What we do is we are a platform for customized outdoor travel in India in a sustainable manner. So tourism, as all of you know, that in a traditional sense, it comes with a lot of disadvantages. It hampers the ecosystem of that place, and nature and communities are not the same once tourism introduced to any place.
Right.
So keeping these things in mind, we came up with a solution which is not going to harm nature and communities involved, and it will use the existing resources that we have for tourism,
Right.
but will give a desirable product to the travelers where all of their needs are being fulfilled. Okay. Now, what does it mean is basically we give out a vehicle. Okay. We also give out a circuit recommendation of places that you can go to. All of these places that we recommend are into nature, are in rural settings, okay, are private lands for camping. Okay. So we make sure that our communities over there are disposing their waste properly, as well as our travelers who are going there, they're bringing back their waste back to the cities where it can be disposed properly. So in a very traditional sense, we are like any other you can say travel startup, but what we provide is we take care of your stay, we take care of your travel, we take care of the places that you're going to visit, but innovation lies in the format that we present to you and in the mission that we have, that we are catering to the sustainable tourism.
Right.
And also the product becomes desirable because all the vehicles that we have come equipped with luxury rooftop tent with it comes with memory foam mattress. It's a very comfortable expedition. It's for everyone. The pricing also is, so if you compare renting a normal car versus renting this kind of a vehicle, which is called overlanding vehicle or a camper van, okay, the cost is only 10 to 15% higher, but the value addition that you get is a lot more. So we started as a pilot product in 2017 with one vehicle that we had built. And at that point of time, I was juggling my full-time role as well as full-time role at Uber as well as the startup. And then later on in late 2018, I decided to do it full-time.
So, tell us a bit about when you thought of starting this. When was it, and what was the first thing you did, and how it got started? The first days, first few days.
I mean, the idea came as in it was obviously aha moment when I love traveling. I moved here. I moved to Guwahati, Assam in 2015 when we were launching Uber in Guwahati, and that time I started traveling. So the places here are completely, it blows your mind. They are very beautiful. Right. The nature is still intact. And there was at that point of time less infrastructure of any kind of mass tourism. So we were traveling and we wanted to stay at these beautiful locations, but there was no infrastructure.
Okay.
Like what we have seen in Himachal or other parts of India is there is a homestay in every nook and corner, and that's a biggest problem of tourism that they are facing, right?
Okay.
So we actually got a clean slate that we knew that this place is going to grow, and we were at the forefront of bringing about that revolution. So how we wanted to go about it is we wanted more campsites or more eco stays, those kind of stay options to come up rather than a proper hotel where it causes a lot more destruction.
Yeah.
So to basically explore countryside of Meghalaya, Assam, Arunachal, so we wanted to build something that does not require a physical infrastructure in terms of brick and mortar.
Right.
So at that point of time, we thought that we're going to build a vehicle which will allow us to stay in it, and we could stay basically at any place that we would like. It's going to be self-sufficient and out there in the nature. I am a total nature lover.
Okay.
So I love outdoors. So that was the idea that we will build it for our own travel, for our own use, and we'll see. But in the process of building it, we thought that if we want to expand it, what are the things that we should take care of it? So number one thing was design of those vehicles, right? How do you design them? Second was it should be scalable. Third was safety. So these were all the challenges that we faced designing a product like that. So we kept in mind that it should be scalable. It should everyone should be able to experience it. Everyone should be able to take out these car on rent. So the price should not be a factor. Then again, the places that we are going to cater to, we should not build any physical infrastructure. We want to keep the place as pristine as it is, and not let any high emission activities over there. Okay. So these were the things that we kept in mind, and we built it out. So our first, we took it out, we traveled in it, and then we had put it on another OTA channel, Airbnb. Okay. So we wanted to test out the product. At that time, I think that was in hindsight, I would say smartest move. Rather than building your own ERP, your own website, you use the existing one that is over there. Exactly. And we did not receive an inquiry or any booking for about 2.5 months. Okay. So the short glitch was a lot of people who were coming in were looking to go to Meghalaya, and our listing was listed in Guwahati when less people were coming in. Okay. So that was, again, it was at that point of time, it seemed like the biggest problem that we have listed down. We are not receiving any interest. But then we changed it, and we received an inquiry, and after that we started receiving bookings. Okay. People took it out. People loved the experience. We are rated highly on all the OTA channels. Even our Google ratings are really high. Okay. So people love the experience of having their own comfort. People love exploring outdoors, especially in India, because you go to these places and say in the vicinity of say 5 to 10 kilometers, sometimes you are the only person and the place or the campsite owner. So that's the kind of experience you get in India, which people thought is not possible, right? Because everywhere you go, you mostly, typical tourist goes to a city, do some sightseeing and come back and stay in a hotel. Right. Now here in the experience is totally different. So it picked up, and finally we were in a sweet spot where the business had become self-sustainable. And that's when in 2018 I decided to, it was a kind of, I was getting stagnant in my job, and I was like, what's next, right? After 3 years, you tend to think that I want to go to another organization, do some other role. So at that point of time, I was like, I want to give this a shot. I want to live this entrepreneurial dream
Okay.
and see how it goes.
Hmm.
So I gave myself a deadline of about a year, that
Okay.
we'll see how it goes in a year.
Hmm.
If it doesn't do well, then we'll see. But I really want to take that risk. So that's when I did. And I think it's one of the, I'd say, happiest career move that I've made. Initially, it didn't feel like that, but after 9 months, you get used to it. And it's totally different from what I was doing.
Right.
So now it's more fun than a challenge.
Right. And you kept on mentioning we as a. I feel like there was a set of people who started together. So tell us about your co-founders, uh, like how you got together and planned it up.
So I started with one of my co-founders,
Okay.
and again I keep on referring we because I'm so used to because it's not me alone, right? It's
Right.
whatever we have built. I can't say like I have built it. Right? It's everyone who paid their fulfill their responsibilities, and I had this trust in them that they would be able to. So I always tend to refer Camping Co as we. Uh, Again, my co-founder, he was we were working together at Uber, and so again he was also doing this part-time like I was doing it. But in 2018 I decided to join it full-time, and he still remained part-time. But like after in 2019 February is when he decided, because the business was growing and we needed two sets of hands.
Right.
So he decided to join in full-time. And unfortunately, we got into this situation of a pandemic.
Right.
But I was the only one handling it from December 2018 to say February 2019.
Right. Speaking of pandemic, can you tell us? You can skip this question if you want to, but if you can, please tell us how it is affecting your business and how do you project the upcoming times.
In terms of business, obviously there are no tourist movements. Places are not open for receiving travelers at this point of time.
Right.
So business is at standstill.
Okay.
uh, it was quite shocking to us
Mm-hmm.
when we first started receiving cancellations
Mm.
about because of COVID, and we did not realize. I did not realize the gravity of the situation at that point
Mm-hmm.
of time, to be frank. And I thought that this is like one or two guests panicking over the situation. But later on, as March started, we got to know it's pretty serious. And it was the single most challenging moment of my life, I would say, of my career,
Okay.
because our business was the one, travel and restaurant industry was the one which got
Right.
impacted the
True.
most.
True.
So I it put me into a very bad state. But again, we focused on the positives. We focused on our values, and A, it is self-sustainable. B, you go to places which are already in low contact area where you are interacting with very few people.
Right.
You are out there in the nature where there is no one, right? So in a way, it seemed like, okay, we have to focus on the positives that our business has. We were not catering to hotels, and all the hotels were, or half of them were turned into quarantine zones. So we were not catering to them at all. And we are catering to these self-sustained vehicles. We just have to sanitize them properly and follow the precautions,
Right.
right? The places that we are sending people to are already too far off into the nature, where the chances again are really less. And then at those places, we have about 150 campsites across India at this point of time.
Okay.
We obviously conveyed them certain measures that they should take, hygiene measures that they should take to ensure that travelers are not put at risk. So again, our values were really strong. We were standing for sustainable tourism at scale. Okay. So that helped us in saying that, we're gonna get through this, and we kind of redirected our focus and initiatives on low contact tourism and tourism which does not require you to be surrounded with a lot of people. Okay. So I think it is we leveraged that point, and we kind of changed our communication strategy, our internal strategy. That when someone sales strategy, everything was changed according to that. Earlier, it was more on the side of desire that this product is so cool and adventurous, and we can go wherever we want to, we can stay wherever we want to, we get to camp for the first time. Now it's more like this is actually the safest travel option out there. Even most of the medical associations ranked camping as the safest activity to do during pandemic.
Nice, good to hear that. Okay, so now we will get into the a bit personal side of being an entrepreneur. So would like to know how did your family react to the fact that you have left your job and you are starting something of your own? Did they support you? How was it?
Little bit backstory to this. My grandfather, father are from farming background, and I was actually born in a village. And at that time, my mother decided that due to lack of education facilities that I'm going to go to my grandmother to Delhi and study over there. Okay. And my single biggest motivation to study or to work was to earn money, right? So that was, I think it is a motivation for all the 23, 24-year-olds. Right. Or there are some out there like you which do not have this motivation, but mine was pretty set on that. So I did that, right? I studied, I got myself a job, I was doing well. So they were pretty happy with me, actually. They were like, oh, she's successful, she's settled in their eyes. So when I told them, listen, I'm going to do this. So they were in shock. They're like, why? Why do you want to do this? We do not understand it. What is the need to do this? So for them to understand that, again, I really want to do something in tourism space. I want to build into sustainable tourism domain. I want to do some good for the community and society. So it did not. Because I was young, I was 27. And they were not able to comprehend my beliefs and value system. Mm-hmm. Then I told them, listen, okay, I understand you're not getting it, but I'm going to do this for a year. Give me a year. If I don't like it, if I don't feel happy, you will also get to know. And if I don't like it, I will go back to doing what I was doing, right? So then I think that was kind of logical reasoning to their all their questions, and they're like, okay, go live your dream. And I was like, thank you very much.
I can relate. Saying this is very easy, but
yeah, it's India is really dramatic. Exactly. In terms of dealing with family issues, parents. So it was quite a lot, but I had made up my mind at that point of time, and I wasn't gonna change it because of money, because it was a factor at a certain point in my life. After that, it was no more a factor. After that, I wanted to grow. That was the main reason. I wanted to grow. I wanted to add new skills into my portfolio. I just wanted to see the world out there.
Right. And based on what you had planned initially for your growth and for your venture, how far have you reached at least till the time when pandemic came. Before that, how far had you reached, and what is your end point? What is your vision?
My vision is to build advanced technology for sustainable tourism at scale. We want to cater to more cities, more places. We want to be present in North India and South India, all the states that are there. So we want to be there. We are currently in Northeast India. We cover all 7 states.
Okay.
So that was so 2020 was going to be the year of expansion because we had proved a model in a city, in a circuit, Guwahati, and we're going to playbook it and going to take the same model in North India, in South India, and other parts. So that was the plan, and so our expansion plan has been put on hold unless we start the business and things get back to normal. And first we have to hold the fort here in Guwahati. Then think about expansion. So I think we have been delayed in our plans for another, I think, 7 to 8 months. That's when things will start moving. So we are expecting things to start move by October, November, and after 4, 5, 6 months, we see that it's a steady growth here. Then again, we'll have to start our expansion plans.
Right. So, would like to know what are the challenges you faced along the way. Of course, you have spoken about COVID, but would like to know what are the other challenges you faced, and which of them you didn't foresee coming.
Which of them I couldn't overcome? Sorry, I didn't hear it.
Which of them you couldn't foresee coming? Which you cannot anticipate.
The biggest COVID being the biggest one, which I never imagined that something like this would happen, and it's going to impact us so badly. Yeah, this is actually the single most and the most depressing one because you can't do anything about it, right? It's beyond my control. Apart from that, there are challenges that, operational challenges, business challenges that every business faces.
Okay.
So when I started it out initially, there is a lot of learning and unlearning was happening at the same time because you are set in your job and it's a different kind of life. It's a different kind of work. And I did not have any prior skills. I did not have a mentor when I decided to get into it. I was pretty much alone, and but I think thankfully help came when I needed it, or I never got bogged down so much by challenges. So keeping my emotional and mental health in check was the biggest challenge. The schedules are random. Your work is all you can think about, or all you think about, all you want to think about before you go to sleep. Once you get up, you just want to talk about your work and think about your. It becomes your life in a way.
Exactly.
And problems sometimes they are so big that it threats your business. And at that point, I'm not losing your mental balance is the key. So that I think keeping my mental emotional health in check and knowing that this is just a challenge, it's not the end of the world. Okay. So keep going. I think you keep facing every day like a new day and keep going. Yeah, some days you don't want to, but you can't take a break from
it. We would like to know who is your role model when it comes to entrepreneurship, or whom do you follow?
Whom do I follow? I like not any particular one, but I follow Bill Gates. I am very, very. I'm a huge fan of Einstein.
Okay.
I love Freud. I like scientists. I like a lot of scientists. I don't know why. I also like, in terms of new businesses, as in startups, Travis, because Travis Kalanick at Uber, yeah, I got to meet him, and had the chance to interact. It was quite inspiring. Those were the initial days of Uber. So then even Brian Chesky, uh, how he's tackling this issue.
Okay.
And in India, I would say sometimes I don't know because we get a lot of LinkedIn feed. I saw a lot of posts of Kunal. I think Kunal Shah is
Huh?
pretty active.
Okay. From
Kunal Shah is quite active.
right. Yeah. Even I follow
So
him.
yeah, I yeah, but like I have my role models. I would say I love Mahatma Gandhi. I love Einstein. I love Shah Rukh Khan. So these are my three usual, what do you call, role models
Right.
from each industry.
I think Shahrukh is a big entrepreneur.
Yeah. I
uh,
mean, each of them have certain qualities.
that is
I go after actual qualities and then the person.
right. That is
I
true.
like Peter Thiel also.
Okay.
A lot of people. I did not say any female name. Interesting. I think I like Elizabeth. And recently I was watching interviews of Indira Gandhi
Okay.
uh, in the 80s, how she handled.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, coming to my next question, how do you compare entrepreneurship with 9 to 5 job? I think you have already worked on a 9 to 5 job, uh, although there is no 9 to 5 job, but uh, you have some experience. Can you tell me how does both of the things compare with each other?
There are two separate worlds, like they are poles apart. In one, you just know very much about your own role, your jobs and responsibilities,
Hmm.
or your teams. You do not have the broad picture. Here, you are everything, right? You are taking care of sales, marketing, tech,
Right.
operations, social media, everything goes by you, right? Even if you are not directly involved, everything goes by you.
Right.
So your personal vision, your insight becomes so important, uh, which is actually not really that important when you're working in a job, unless you're working on a specific project.
Okay.
So, and with me, it was more of the case that I would leave my job in the office. Once I walk out of office, I would not really think about it unless there is something really, really pressing or important,
Okay.
right? Which is like once in a quarter, once in a month, you have something important.
Hmm. Hmm.
Here, you live every day, each moment, and you always tend to prioritize your work, no matter what. Like you can't. I have had severe work guilt. Like if I'm not prioritizing my work,
Hmm.
uh, I I feel guilty. Like
Okay.
which shouldn't be the case, but that's how it is.
Right.
And
Same issue I think
again, it's
happens
not
to a
for
lot of entrepreneurs. The work guilt you mentioned. I've been hearing a lot about this. Uh,
yeah. That's the case. You can't leave it. You're so attached to it. You always want to work on it.
right.
It's there 24/7. In a job, again, here in a job you get excited only when something like really big happens. right? When you get promoted or you get recognized, you get an award or something. Here with me, it has happened that I tend to get excited by every little thing that goes right.
Okay.
And I get down with every little thing that goes wrong.
Okay.
So again, that curve is really high and it fluctuates a lot. Your sine curve of life, it goes up and down quite a bit. Right. And that's where your mental and emotional health comes into play, because you're putting yourself into something which is extraordinary, right?
Right.
Becoming an entrepreneur is extraordinary. Even taking that step or deciding that I want to do this is extraordinary. And when you go through something like that, obviously normal rules do not apply to you. Normal things are not, you're not able to relate to those anymore. Because unless you have set of entrepreneur friends or people who have gone through this, you can't really relate, right? So you tend to lose a lot of your friends because you don't have any time. And yeah, there's a lot of challenges. I can go on and on about it.
Right.
You have to be really, strong-willed when you are doing something of your own, when you're starting your entrepreneur.
Right.
Whereas at the job, you can be passive for some time, but here you can't really. Okay. Like your body, mind, and soul will not allow you to be passive. You have to be active all the time, and exercise becomes really important. Your lifestyle changes have to be incorporated into your daily routine, so that you can function in a healthy manner. Like for me, it became so hectic. I had to take up exercise. I had to take up certain meditation techniques or yoga, so that I'm able to stay grounded and focused on what's important.
Right. I think that is a very useful point. We are very short of time now, Heena. I'll rush through it. There is only two questions left. One is how our audience can start their journey into entrepreneurship.
I think a very simple suggestion is that see something that you're passionate about, which you like, which is your hobby, which you can do for longer periods of time and still be happy. Okay. So look for your passion, and then look for a problem in your passion. Sorry. I'll give you an example. For you like painting, like you like art. Now, how do you monetize art? Right. So think on those lines. A, what's your passion? And B, what is the gap you can fill in that particular industry in terms of business? I think these are the two basic things.
Right. And what would be your final message to our audience who are potential entrepreneurs of this country and future founders and co-founders?
My message would be that it's not an easy journey, but it's the most rewarding one. And focus on building solutions and building projects which are sustainable in nature, which goes well with man-made ecosystems as well as nature, because that's really important. And from my experience, I've learned that if you have strong values and if you're taking into consideration these things, your business or your project will stand the test of time. You will not have to shut it at any point of time. So having strong values as to why you are doing this have to be there, and do the right thing, remain positive.
Okay. It was a pleasure to have you here at ELI. I think our audience would have got lifetime lessons from this video. Thanks for your time, Heena, and our best wishes for your venture, camping.co.
Thank you for inviting me. It was a pleasure speaking to you, and let's stay connected.
Viewers, you can follow Heena on LinkedIn by searching for Heena Manav. Also, do visit Camping Co website by typing camping-co.com. So, whom do you want to have here at ELI for next episode? Do let me know in comment below. Do not forget to subscribe to our channel. We will be back before you know it. Stay tuned to Entrepreneur Launch of India.